Dr. Andrej Vizjak, co-founder and CEO of AV Consulting and current world champion in consulting. And he will be talking about commerce opportunity, Middle East, Africa, and South Asia. Let's greet him with applause.
So it's not the easiest time slot to wake you up, but young comedian who comes after me asked me to wake you with a new idea. So who of you is strictly working in Adriatic region? Who is working outside Adriatic region? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any of you is working in MEASA? Okay. 4 people. So we had also Ananas today, who is a little bit the diverse story. So he was in India and coming back to the region to apply the method here. So for me in business there are 3 angles where I analyze. So the first one for everybody should be fun. And most of you probably work in the home region because you have here your social network, you enjoy and why to go abroad if home is best. The second thing is the money you earn. So initially in the region it was not so good to earn money, but now it becomes better and better and less people go abroad for this. But the third one is impact. So I think everybody wants to achieve something which is special. If you look at the slides here, I will explain to you why for me this region is something special. So 8 years ago with my wife Sonia, we established AV Consulting in Dubai with a vision to make something special in our business, in the management consulting business, and have a bigger impact. And also for you, I think that could be a challenge. The question is that I would say, you are usually have a comfort zone and you think if I go for a training somewhere it's still entertaining. If I go for holiday it's nice, but doing business somewhere means a commitment to be there full time, to forget some of the things you have at home. And with this presentation I would like to show you that this is possible also to have fun, to earn a lot of money and also to have impact in another region which typically would not be the first place people would choose. So MEASA stands for Middle East, Africa and South Asia. The biggest part of South Asia is India. India alone has 1.5 billion of people. So how can I help you with these topics? I think I can give you a strategy for being successful there. So why is it difficult to be successful there? It's a new culture, it's different. There are a lot of risks. So if we start with the payments, if you have done businesses there, sometimes you don't get paid, and this is typical. But you can avoid this. So that's why my proposition is that you have a base for this region in Dubai. And out of Dubai, you then tackle a region which is called MEASA, which has 3.5 billion people. So the first one, why should that make fun? If you have been on holidays there, you might say, okay, it was the wrong time, it was summer. But if you are there between September and April, this is probably the best climate you can imagine. And a lot of people who live there never want to go back. Especially the Indian people and the African people, the rich people like to be there because there is a lot of infrastructure. So you have a place there where quality of life is interesting, where you have entertainment on the top level and you have all the sports events, all the restaurants which you would combine research across the world, you find them there already. And that is reason enough for companies having headquarters there. What about the part of the infrastructure? So Dubai wants in everything to be first. And also for digital commerce, they have developed something they call the Digital Commerce Hub of MEASA. So they invested in Commerce City. This is an infrastructure for startups or holdings of companies which would use the technology, the logistics infrastructure here. They invested last year only $1 billion in this to attract companies to bring the ecosystem there. Why is this ecosystem interesting? Because you have all the suppliers there. You have the advertising agencies, you have the technology companies. So a lot of you have the expertise which could be very competitive there. But many of you came for the expo, but then left. But in fact, some of you have got propositions. So what I see is that, especially in Serbia, there's a lot of IT know-how in the digital commerce field, which is world-class. So why to keep this only on a small region if you can make it broader? And here we are with the impact part of the story. So if you have Serbia, you have 7 million people. You have Croatia, you have 4 million people. You have 15 million tourists. If you take Dubai, you have the same 15 million tourists per year like Croatia, and a similar size of population, all in one city. If you go broader, you have the MENA, so these are the Arab countries, Middle East, North Africa. There's 60 million people already. Similar culture. This is already more than all the Adriatic region together is one country. Saudi Arabia, which is a lot of, I would say, thing going on. You don't even look for the whole MEASA at the same time, but you can look there. Who of you has business in Turkey? Yeah. So this is what I say, the comfort zone. So you go up to a border, and then already Romania, Turkey becomes too difficult to explore. You don't speak the language, but these are already large countries next to you. But if you see Turkey, Turkey has done it in MEASA. So in certain industries, in the digital commerce, they have the leadership in the whole MEASA. So for example, fashion. 9 out of 10 top digital commerce companies in MEASA are Turkish. So they came to this market, probably in technology, they have not your level. But they have a kind of spirit to acquire field, to grow, and they go for the big markets. And imagine that you do the same what we saw here with Shopster on a market with 3.5 billion people. How much more revenues you can make. The competition is not as strong because usually everybody would say, if I go out of the continent, I go to the US because this is the most developed region. But there is also a lot of competition, especially in digital commerce. They were the pioneers. They know how to do it. But in MEASA, the Europeans coming there are the experts. By the way, the potential of MEASA is also because today the digital commerce on the consumer side is not so developed yet. So if you take the average of the world, it's 20% of total retail revenues is already e-commerce. In MEASA, it's only 4%. So there is a big difference also in the saturation of the market. Competition is not so strong as in other countries of the world, and you have an unexploited potential. Plus, the region is growing faster than all other regions. So 60 years ago, there were 30% of the world population from these countries, and now it's 45% of global population from these countries, and this dynamics will go on. So you are here in the middle of a growth, not so strong competition, but again, the impact itself for most of you maybe is not so important. The fun is the question. So you have to enjoy this, and you have to have the spirit. And by now, 15,000 Serbs are living in Dubai. So some of them have found a way, and most of them are happy, not want to go back. I meet a lot of them because this is for us like a second home to meet those people, so we don't see the borders of Adriatic there. So there's one community. And if Djokovic plays the ATP in Dubai, there is a full stadium of Serbian flags and also crowds. I mean, everybody comes just to cheer for him. But if he can do it in the sport, you can do it in the digital commerce. And these borders are not there as in other businesses. Because once on the web, you are everywhere. So why do I know Shopster? Because I have Net TV in Dubai, and there is every break Shopster advertising. Yeah. So in fact, you are there already, but is there coming revenue from them? No, because you're not looking for this. Can you imagine that you do the same penetration there? That you are in a few industries, you don't need many. Yeah, like the Turks in the fashion. 9 out of 10 top players in such a big region. It's enough that this whole region just focuses on one particular thing. Yeah, like the Turks really did it very well with the clothes. So the last one is the money. So why should somebody work in Dubai in your business? So the hourly rate of an IT expert in Dubai is probably 4 times the rate here in the Adriatic region, or even more. Plus the advantage that there are no taxes. So this many people forget. But if you have a business system, you can also win in your industry by having there, because you will have a lot of subsidies, you will have a lot of ease of doing business, and some cost advantages. So during the energy crisis now, in Dubai there is no crisis, it's growth, and the cost of energies are much lower of electricity than in Europe. So even if you run your system there, you will have a cost advantage. If you need some bigger workforces out of Pakistan, out of India, you can hire, like Shopster is doing this online, yeah, but you can bring these people physically. And these people sometimes are really then if they work out of India, if they work out of Pakistan, they are really cheap. But if you bring them there with a commitment, you can negotiate any price. So a lot of these businesses are running with such a workforce. So some of you are bankers. So the most of the banking system in Dubai is staffed by Indian and Pakistan people because of the good skills. On the other side, also on the competitive cost. So that was my part of the story. Don't stay with your thinking only here. It's only 6 hours away from Ljubljana, Belgrade, Zagreb, Sarajevo. You have a direct flight. If this is not good enough, you take Munich, Vienna, Venice, 6 hours flight. I was 5 years working in Romania. I took more time to come from Ljubljana to Romania than I need to come from Ljubljana to Dubai. Is it nice to work there? Yes, because there's all English. You don't have the language barriers. It's all Latin written, so you even see what you read. And why do you need this Dubai? It's a logistic hub, so you can reach around, but it's also a legal hub. Most of these companies, which would be your buyers, for example, would have African, Indian also legal entities in Dubai. And if you are from Dubai, with Dubai, the business is secure, all payments are sure. So there is no unpayments. The unpayments is only if you send a bill from another country to one of these countries, then they don't have to pay. Okay, so that was my thing. My motto is become the first in the world. And if you win in a region which is half of the world population with a growing share, I'm sure you will win. And if you think this global position is covered by Amazon, it is not. So Amazon has only 2.5% of the global market share on digital commerce. So there is still a lot of room there for other players. Thank you. So there's some time for questions? Yeah?
Are there any questions?
Yes?
Here.
or not shout. Hi, I'm Veronica from Karanovic Partners. I actually used to work with Andrej a long time ago. I'm particularly interested in Africa versus Southeast Asia. So if we would need to focus on a specific continent of the two, so let's assume we set up in Dubai and then we have the resources to focus on one or the other, what would you recommend as the first one?
So I don't need to focus. That's a good in digital commerce because you have your logistics system and you have your web page and it's all in English language. So you would access both Africa and India if you are able to distribute. So that's why the focus here is not so important than the niche. So you have to say in which category you are good. So yesterday when we talked with Milos, I said the Chile example. So there is one guy from the Adriatic region who has plantages in Chile making tartuffe. And when Italy is not producing tartuffe because of the season, Chile is. So he found a niche and he's selling this tartuffe to all luxury places in the whole region. And they are not only in the Middle East luxury places, also Africa, also India have very luxury hotels. So you can find the niches. Another good example from the region is HTT Pool. You are from this business, you know HTT Pool. They have a headquarters in Dubai. They reach the whole region with this. They are not in America, but they are a global leader. So this is also a good example. And like this, you find also in other segments, people from this region who came there and who really were persistent. But for this, you need a long-range plan. It's not that you come and next week you will have the profit. It's like in every new acquisition of a new region, you need some time. But with the digital commerce approach, you have most of the work done. And with the English language, I think you will not have too big barriers.
More questions? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.